Tell me about your attitude towards risk.
Risk in land development?
Risk in land development,
Okay.
please.
So land development falls into two primary areas. You've got the raw land,
The raw land.
and then you've got what I call paper lots.
Paper lots.
Okay? The biggest risk in developing land is buying raw land and then trying to take it to development.
Yes.
Because the problem you run into is that you have to deal with the cities, the counties, you have to deal with the environmental stuff, you have to deal with the utilities, you have to get all this stuff approved, and you may look at the piece of land and they may tell you you're going to get 20 lots out of it.
Yes.
But by the time you do all your research and stuff,
Yes.
you may only be able to get 5 lots out of it, and that's a big risk. So what we do to mitigate the risk is we only deal in paper lots, and what that means is that all of this has been done. All of this has been taken care of. We have all the approvals from all of the areas that we need, so that all we have to do then is to actually do the work.
So why is it difficult for banks to lend money for this kind of land development?
Because the banks only like to loan on the finished lots.
On the finished lots. Okay.
Correct, because there is not as for them it's difficult to loan on paper lots because they don't see it as collateral their way. A lot of the banks have constrictions as far as the amount of capital that they can put out into a project.
Yes.
And in putting these things together, it's very capital intensive. And most of the builders don't have the credit or horsepower to pull off the being able to do that.
So what about like non-bank financial institutions? Are they more willing to provide financing for paper lots? Or?
Absolutely, because the returns are good, and if you've done all of your homework,
Yes.
the risk is very low.
Yes.
Because you know exactly what you're doing, and if you hire good contractors, there's also the insurance policy, the bond in place that ensures that the city or municipality gets the project finished, and that's what's most important to them, is that once you start moving dirt and doing all this stuff, they want to make sure that it gets finished, and that's an important part of the puzzle also. But there are other conduits for capital for these projects. They're just not the banks. There's always risk. I mean, but it's very mitigated.
It will be mitigated.
Very
What kind of risk do you foresee, and how do you overcome that?
The worst thing it would be is cost overruns on either material costs go up that we don't know of, because the time the bid happens to the time they actually buy the materials, there might be a difference in cost. But understand those are very small in scale to the bigger project because we know exactly what we're dealing with when we go into the project. We don't do anything until we can go down to the county and pay for a permit.
Yes.
That's how we mitigate the risk. Because if we can't get a permit, we don't fund it.
That's very smart. So what is one of the other ways that you mitigate risk?
One of the ways we mitigate risk is not only do we just deal with paper lots where we can get a permit.
Yes.
We make sure that we have an exit strategy already developed.
Okay.
So we make sure that when we go in, we already have them sold.
Okay.
So we have a builder already lined up that's ready to execute on the contract as soon as we're ready. Because once again, they can go to their bank as soon as we're done and get a loan for the lot. This is our primary exit strategy.
Yes.
Our secondary exit strategy is to sell to another builder.
Yes.
Because we only do the developments in areas where there's an active market that will absorb the lots as needed.
Yes.
So that's how we do that.
Yes.
Because I'm in this long term, guys. I'm not here for just today, okay? I like this stuff. I get excited about it, and you can tell I get a little excited about it, and I want to do it a long time. And the only way you do that is treating people right.
Yes.
And that means you pay people what they're worth. You pay people what they deserve.
Yes.
And that's been, that's why we can't afford to go out and do that.
So the financing has to fit in the team.
Absolutely. A good project will get funded. It just doesn't matter, it's just a matter of who and at what cost. And I'd rather pass on a project than burden it with too much, cost of capital.
Yes.
Capital is the choke point in all of this.
Yes.
That's why I need you.
That's good.
Yeah.